What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we got a couple things to talk about. Some things that really kind of suck for all the players in mobile gaming, and really for us Cofus players as well, as I will dive into. So, CM Yuri, guys, posted up this here, which is the adjustments to upcoming tax and exchange rates for Google Play Store, which you all know what that means. It means that all these players in all these countries, the United Kingdom, Norway, Hungary, South Africa, Colombia, Gibraltar, Nigeria, Egypt, I'm not sure if I pronounced that name correctly, and more, are going to have to pay more money. Now, this is not a Cofus problem. This is a Google Play Store problem. These are the people that are causing these rates to go up because the economy is going up, everything's getting crazy, so we have to pay more money for these things. I've seen some comments where people are in this forum that are talking about how, how you're going to increase the rates whenever, blah, blah, in the game isn't very good, the rewards are very good, and so on. And I'm thinking to myself, that is not a Cofus problem. That is a Google Play problem. They're the ones that are increasing the rates, not Netmarble. If you're going to be fair, we can definitely criticize Netmarble, as we will in a little bit, but be fair about your judgment and about your criticism. This is a Google Play problem. They are the ones increasing this, right? And they say they're increasing it because obviously economy and everything else, which really, really sucks. So it's a real bummer to hear that. Unfortunately, rates going up once again, which kind of sucks. Now, I do want to say that whenever rates do go up, I do think it's a good idea for any mobile game to increase the packages, right? Whenever you get more bang for your buck out of the package that you buy, I do think it's a good idea for them to do that, because if they do that, it kind of balances out, Google Play doing this. Will they do that? Probably not. I've played multiple games where they never change this at all, and it is quite unfortunate. And now on to some criticisms of Cofus. So I've noticed in the views here lately have been going down quite a bit. And the reason for that, guys, is because the content is stale in the game. I've been doing so many guild raid videos that it's not even funny, right? Guild raid, guild raid, guild raid, guild raid, right? And it's all good and it's all fun and we get these great scores and it's a blast. It really is. It's really cool. But the problem is, a lot of players, when they play the game or play any game, they want to have a good reward to cost ratio, right? You invest all this money or all these rubies in these OP characters like Iori, like Shanae, like, past EX characters. And, their power of scaling doesn't really matter a whole lot unless you're a brand new player. For us veterans that's been playing for a long time, it just doesn't matter, right? Because, and I've talked about this multiple times, because in this game, guys, you don't need A5 characters to come into battle and do league match and absolute war. You don't need no A5 characters. A1 characters can easily destroy PvP, especially with the power creep of the characters that we have right now, and still get all of your rubies from these game modes. You don't need A5 them for this. And then whenever you do need, you might need A5 probably for Chapter of Fight, right? There's an argument for that game mode, right? For this game mode right here, because you will need 201,000 CP. However, these new characters are, they're having higher native CP stats than the characters before, so it's much easier to get them to that 201,000 cap, so you can go all the way top and get all of your rewards out of here, not to mention the card sets that they're giving us in the game. So once again, it doesn't really seem worth it. And in fact, once you have 3 characters that can reach that 201,000 CP, you're done in this game mode. You're done. You don't need any other characters. It might make it easier if you have certain characters, but the cost to reward ratio just really isn't worth it, at least in my humble opinion. Team Relay Dungeon, easily auto that game mode. Dungeon Trials, easy auto that game mode. Most players are, if you got Shanae, Iori, Ivy, Hotaru, any of those characters, you can pretty much destroy this thing, especially Ivy, Shanae, and Iori. Those 3 especially just absolutely destroy this thing by cheeseballing the living hell out of it, right? And they don't need to be A5 for that either. They could be A1, right? And you guys see the consistent trend as to what I'm saying here is that we don't need these characters at A5. We don't need to push them to A5 unless we just want to have bragging rights to get these tremendously high scores. And this really is a Netmarble problem more than it is just a Cofus problem. I'm just focusing on Cofus because that's the game that we're talking about initially. But they do the same thing in other games where, you put a lot of resources in characters, you push certain levels of whatever the content may be, but the cost to reward ratio just isn't worth it. Netmarble always does this in their games, and it's really a crying shame because just some slight adjustments would make it so much better, right? Now, I do want to be fair to Netmarble and say that we do know that Demo Space is getting reworked. We do know that it's going to be coming back. right? But are they going to make it to where, we have to use, different colors and different elements, right? Do we have to use attack? Do we have to use balance? Do we have to use defense? Do we have to use a yellow, blue, and so on and so on and so on, right? Because in this game, they don't make it to where you have to use those characters. They make it to where if you use a certain color character, you'll have a type advantage, right? Instead of just having solid restrictions. Now, if the rewards are really good in like the demo space and they do have that, then it would be pretty damn cool, right? But if the rewards aren't very good, then the way that it's always been would be just fine. If you don't need, if they call for a purple, but you can use a blue, then go ahead and use a blue and get it done with that character. But if they actually had solid restrictions where you had to use a blue character, or you had to use a red character, or you had to use an attack character, and so on, but made the rewards worth it, it would be pretty freaking cool. And that's something I really kind of want to hope to see in the future. We also know that they removed the Guild Raid challenges in here, not the challenges, but the ratings in here, to where now they're doing some upcoming changes in the future. And I'm hoping that the changes that they make in here is that you score a certain amount and you get some certain rewards, right? I know a lot of people are clamoring for EX memories, and guys, I am too, but here's the thing you need to remember about that. If they start introducing EX memories, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to start introducing a new rarity, right? Instead of A7, it's going to be A8 or A9. Instead of EX, it's going to be Super EX or some crap like that. That's exactly what Kofus has done in the past whenever they gave us generic memories of a certain version of character. When they started giving us generic memories of BS and SS, that lasted for a little while, and then they introduced EX characters. And I guarantee you guys they'll do the same trend in the future. And I really hope they don't go down that route, but we'll see. But the big problem in the game is that we don't have any cost reward ratios in the game as far as our game modes are concerned. Having these super OP characters, guys, I spent over $300 getting, Iori to this level, right? And what for? Because I love Iori, right? That's why I did it. But that can't be the only reason that you level up characters. It can't be just for, that they're your favorite. Yeah, that's definitely a good reason to do it. But then you get them, you level them up, and you're just like, and then, the best game mode in the game, like as far as I'm concerned, as far as having like all this power creep, is Tower of Trials. This is the best game mode in the game, but we can only play it one damn time. Once you clear the damn thing, then you can't play it at all. And I talked about that before. Even if we could replay it for fun, it still would be better than the way it is right now. And the fact that we're limited to 3 times a day, that sucks as well. So, I would personally love to see something like Tower Trials in the future where we're actually just facing bosses and not all these damn mobs, where we're just facing bosses, kind of like a world boss in like Marvel Future Fight. And I've talked about that before, where, you face Ignis, or you face Genis, you face Orochi, you face Mugaki, right? All these characters would be so fun to fight in the game, where you just have a one-on-one battle and where there's certain debuffs applied, certain mechanisms applied, certain ways that you can dodge and guard to increase your damages, and things like that would be pretty damn awesome. Because in this game mode, they don't nerf your characters. It's really your skill, and their core passives is really how you're going to get it done in this game mode. And that's the way it really should be. Whenever you're investing in all these characters and you have all these crazy core passives with all these, ridiculous immunities and heals, you want to be able to use those, because that's why you spend the bottom dollar, spend all your rubies for these characters. Right? But if they do like what they did with Demo Space a long time ago, where they just nerfed the living crap out of our characters, well, then that sucks, especially if the rewards aren't worth it, like what they did before. But this has always been a problem in Kofus. It's just like, we do these guild raid runs over and over and over, and I like doing them, guys, and I like showing you how to do them, and I'm going to do them in the future. It's just that there's really nothing else that people really put value on. Dungeon of Trials. I guess Colossal Dungeon. I could do some videos about Colossal Dungeon here, right? Guild Boss Challenge. Right? But guys, look at this. Look at that. I got 200. If I remove my ugly ass mug, right? If I remove my ugly mug, you guys can see I got 297,000 of these things. Look at that. 297,000 of them, right? And the reason I don't use them is because I don't really need anything from there. There's some okay rewards in there, but it's just I don't know, like it's nice to be able, it's really just bragging just to push all these tiers and get more of these tokens, even though like I know a lot of players like myself don't even use these tokens at all. So how worth it is it really to play? I mean, but I play it for my guild, because they're all trying to push it and they're all trying to, increase the tiers in that game mode. So I try to do the same thing. But these are the plagues that are in Coffus, the fact that we don't really have any game modes that are very rewarding. I mean, Tower Trials is rewarding one time, and then you're one and done. Guild Raid is, I mean, you need 1.25 billion, which is a complete joke anymore for our characters. And again, guys, you don't need A5 for any of these game modes except for Tower Trials, and that's a one and done game mode, and maybe Chapter of Fight. And again, once you have, 3 characters, like even in Tower Trials, 3 OP characters, and especially in Chapter of Fight, you really don't need to pull for any other characters unless you're going for your favorites, and then it becomes just a collector game. And I'm telling you guys right now, whenever you're just playing a game for collecting, it's going to get old pretty damn fast, and you're going to look elsewhere and play other games. And that isn't what we want for Coffus. We want people to continue playing, right? We want people to continue having a good time, enjoying the game, and feeling like the game is worth it to play. So I hate making these kinds of videos where I'm, criticizing the game and for all the problems it has, but these things need to be said because Netmarble really does need to address them. And to be fair, again, guys, they are reworking Demo Space. They are changing some things in Guild Raid. So, I mean, it remains to be seen what they're actually going to do. I'm really, really praying that we get some really good content, because that is a huge, huge problem in our game, and it seriously is killing it right now, because a lot of players, especially from the views that I'm getting right now, are just, they're just not playing anymore, and that isn't a good thing. So guys, let me know what your criticisms are of Coffus, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GW+7 time. The link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.